Welcome to Physician Spotlights. I am your host, Dr. Matthew Bechtold. Physician Spotlights is a forum for our outstanding physicians in the field of nutrition to discuss important topics and ideas, and with the help of ASPEN, we are bringing these videos to you. Our guest today is Dr. David Evans. Dr. Evans is a trauma surgeon at the Ohio Health Trauma Services. He's been a staple of the nutrition community for many years now. Multiple publications, probably too numerous to count. Dr. Evans, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've been in nutrition for a while, but how did you get started in nutrition?
Sure. Well, I think it really started when I was an intern, particularly parenteral nutrition. Really just fascinated me. When we were rounding on patients, and for example, if they weren't eating, they had a complication after gastrointestinal surgery, we were able to put them on parenteral nutrition and really have them do well after something that if 40, 50 years ago, they might not have survived. And there was a TPN pharmacist, Jay Mertallo, who was a past president of ASPEN, who was our team's TPN pharmacist. And he was a wealth of knowledge, and I loved rounding with him. And from him, really, he planted that seed, that fascination with parenteral nutrition, and it grew from there.
That's great. Now, you did mention mentorship. How has mentorship played a role?
Oh, a huge role, because, well, of course, surgery is an apprenticeship. When you're training in surgery, general surgery as a resident, you're essentially apprenticed as you rotate through different services, different rotations. You're in the operating room. It's graduated responsibility as you get to do more of the operation. You grow and develop. And so every step of the way I've had mentors, and I think surgeons, as clinicians, are very kind of naturally adapted to that idea of mentorship being a key part of our practice. For me, I had several mentors. As time went on, I moved from kind of traditional surgical mentors to nutrition mentors. A big step for me was participating in the Nestle Nutrition Fellowship back in, I think, 2013. So Steve McClave, Bob Martindale, giants of the field, they introduced me to people like Darren Hyland, Paul Wishmeyer. And so from there, really an entire physician nutrition community and mentorship community exist. As I've written, I've had senior authors who were all over the world really now, who are noted experts in their field. And ASPEN's the kind of community where you can reach out to someone and say, hey, I'm writing a paper about something. I know you're an expert in it. Can I get you to help write it with me? Can I get you to contribute to it? I know that people have reached out through the community, for example, with grant proposals to get mentorship. And you see a lot of multi-institutional or cross-institutional K-award applications even being written, where people have collaborated through ASPEN with faculty at other sites. So I think it's a fascinating setting for that.
Fantastic. You did mention ASPEN along the way. How have they helped you in building some of these networks?
Sure. Well, certainly the meeting itself is a key forum. It's a place where multidisciplinary practitioners feel comfortable coming together, different medical disciplines, as well as dietitians, pharmacists, and others in nursing, others interested in nutrition support, both the science and practice of it, which is why the conference is called that. And so they facilitate those connections, and then of course there are great opportunities for national committees, involvement at a national stage in ways that are often very hard within your surgical society. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of trauma surgeons who want to do research on hemorrhagic shock, for example, and so it's very hard to distinguish yourself in an area like that. But it's very possible to build a national reputation and build a national network in an area like nutrition. And I think basically nutrition touches almost every field, or essentially every field, except maybe autopsy pathology, every field in medicine. So, yeah.
I am impressed with the work you've done along the way, but what are your proudest accomplishments?
Well, in many ways, I'm most proud of the students that I've trained, the residents that I've trained. it's just like I've been talking about mentorship, and I still have many mentors myself. I now have been the mentor for others, and so I'm very proud of scholarships that we've won. One of my students actually won the best parenteral abstract this year here at the conference. So I'm really proud to be able to bring that team to this meeting and expose other, whether it's new medical students or even prospective medical students to this environment and this community of practice.
That's wonderful. The role of mentorship is extremely important, as you've said. In the future of nutrition, besides mentorship, what do you see as the future of nutrition?
Yeah, I think that in this modern era of value-based purchasing, accountable care organizations, a much more data is available. Surgeons now all get their NSQIP, NSQIP data reports, so we know we can benchmark ourselves with other physicians. And so as we move that into practice, it gives us an opportunity to see how whatever intervention we try, whether it's a nutritional intervention or something else, can impact our patient outcomes. And so I think now, more than ever before, we can see the impact of nutritional supplementation, prehabilitation, appropriate use of parenteral nutrition, and see the impact that those modalities, those therapies, which we've always had, but how they are impacting our patients and our outcomes. And I think that that's really one of the most exciting things, at least in my field of practice.
I think that's absolutely right. I'd like to thank Dr. Evans for joining us today. I would also like to thank ASPEN for their partnership in this forum. Have a great day, and we'll see you next month.